second half of the season. Rochdale, the visitors this afternoon. And very quickly the teams for you. For Keighley, it's Jeff Butterfield at full-back, Wayne Race, Nick Pinkney, Mark Milner and John Walker in the three-quarters, Martin Wood and Andy Ayres at half-back, Brendan Hill, Jason Ramshaw, Ian Gately, Steve Hall, a welcome return from injury to Kevin Marr, and Mark Brook-Cowden at loose forward. For Rochdale, it's Steve Gibson at full-back, the player coach, Jason Green, Martin Strett, Paul O'Keefe and Vinnie Miller. The three-quarters, Steve Garkland and Ian Bates, the half-backs, Cavill Hugh, Richard Patchnewick, Cliff Eccles, Mick Worrall, Simon Bamber and Carl Marriott in the forwards. The substitutes for Keighley this afternoon, Phil Stevenson and Carlton Paddle, and for Rochdale, Richard Gott and Dave Harmer. The man in the middle this afternoon is Steve Nicholson from Whitehaven. His two-touch judges Bob Mosley and Kim Taylor. The field extremely heavily sanded, it's very, very boggy in the middle, contrary to the conditions that we saw early season at Rochdale, Dal, when there was plenty of grass, but there again it was just after the summer. Rochdale have had one or two difficult patches to go through, but have come good of recent weeks. Keighley have had a long way off and come good in the last two games, so interesting fixture.
Certainly is, John, yes. Like you say, Rochdale have done well. They're doing well at home. They don't travel so well. Let's hope that continues today. What we really want is a good game of football. Get the ball out wide today. This pitch is cutting up now and they haven't even kicked off. You know, that's with the players just walking about on it. It's cutting up badly. The ball's got to go out wide today.
Well, we'll see what happens. It's Rochdale have won the toss. They're in black and white, not the normal colours of red, white and blue. They're in black and white this afternoon. It's Keighley who's kicking off down the hill. The wind is quite strong this afternoon. Very strong wind. Mr. Nicholson gets the game underway. Martin Wood starts play, and it's just played with the foot there by the number 2 rather, Jason Green. In fact, that's not Jason Green, that's Vinnie Miller. But the man in possession is Simon Bamber, tackled 25 out from his own line. Oh, ball going back there, but Mr. Nicholson says in fact that it had gone forward. And Rochdale still continuing coming through. Brendan Hill completed the tackle. On the 20-metre line then, it's Andy Ayres feeding this scrum. A tremendous gale blowing. I think it's behind the Cougars as they come down the slope. Certainly the way that ball drifted forward from the pass, it looked like that. Pinkney then on to Steve Hall, but the referee says that pass was forward. That's a basic error from the acting half-back. Rather strange to see Nick Pinkney in there, Daryl, at acting half.
Yeah, I think that's what caused it, John. You know, you've got to get the ball up and off the floor. These forwards are used to running fast and timing their run to the ball coming off the floor. Nick probably stood up that little bit too much.
Ball then going in and out to Rochdale. Vinnie Miller coming away with it. Plays the ball on his own 30, gets it out to loose forward Marriott.
Watch this blind side!
10 from the halfway then as Rochdale come forward. Keighley advancing, stopping the play there 5 metres from the halfway line as Rochdale switch through the hands of Patchnewick, but that's hit the Keighley man, and in fact the referee says it struck the player did not play the ball. It's the last one still, and there comes the kick through this time. You can see the strength of the wind there by the way the ball hung and dropped to the ground. Jeff Butterfield and John Walker coming in field looking for the work as Ian Gately now comes through, met with the elbow there from the loose forward Marriott. Certainly no question about that one. Andy Ayres on to Martin Wood. Martin Wood offers the ball but sees that the Rochdale centre Martin Strett was up in the line, decided to hang on to it, and Ramshaw gets it out to Ayres. Ayres a long ball out to Mark Milner. Milner half through the gap, but well tackled by the Rochdale defence. It's the last one. We'll be looking surely for a ball in the air here. Kevin Marr, the Unusual man with the ball. Looked as though it might have gone straight out. The referees said in fact that there was no problem with the man taking the ball, but the pass that went on to Andy Ayres was forward. So we got a handover on the Rochdale 10-metre line. And I think really John Walker just hanging fire, waiting there for the referee to tell him he was onside.
Yeah, well, he doesn't have to tell him he's onside. He only tells him when he's offside, John. You know, the referee didn't say up, then you play on.
Yeah, the point I was making, John ought to have known he was onside by the position he took, and he, unless he hears offside, then he goes for the ball.
The thing is, if you look guilty, referees will penalise you.
Well, I suppose that's right as well, yeah. Act the innocent one and you get away with murder. Just outside the 20 then, as Rochdale looking to come up this hill, doing the hard work in the first half of the game, having won the toss. Pat Chinook spreading it again, and Steve Garkland putting the kick up, looking for touch but not finding it. In fact, I'm not sure, I don't think he's even bothered about looking for touch. Jeff Butterfield then 10 metres from the halfway line. John Walker struggles free from the first tackle, but decides that Cavill just that little bit too big for him to go through. Kevin Marr driving in, offloading to Mark Milner at the second attempt. Milner looking to get away but can't get away from the tackling attempts there of the Rochdale second rower. Brendan Hill out the far side. The pass looked a bit forward, but John Walker does well to pick that ball up. He's being shepherded round the corner and puts a lot of pressure there. A good bit of football, Darrell, from Keighley there.
Yeah, Brendan got the ball out. John Walker awake to it. He saw that he couldn't really get around the man. There wasn't enough room, so he kicked ahead. Unfortunately, Rochdale player won the race for it, but Keighley's putting the pressure on, which is what we need.
Certainly the early pressure in this game is what Keighley need, and that's what they're doing. They need some points, certainly in this first half, with the wind and the slope in their favour. Butterfield once more then on the end of that ball, taking it almost back to the 20. Ramshaw out to Steve Hall. Steve Hall driving that ball in, gets to the 10-metre line before being tackled. Quick play of the ball, bound to Brendan Hill. Brendan Hill driving for the corner. Is he in? No, the referee says it's a knock-on. I think, Darrell, I heard you in my ear there, you called not a forward pass there out to Brendan, but I think this wind is certainly having a lot of effect on that ball as it's been passed, isn't it?
It certainly is, John. Yeah, the Keighley players ought to adjust their runs accordingly. Otherwise, there'll be a lot of forward passes this half. It certainly was forward. He took it in front of the man, you know, like you say, it could be the wind, but there's going to be a lot of blow-ups, I think, if we're not careful with it.
Steve Hall then getting way across the field, half stopping the man, Mark Milner, finishing him off. Just right of centre as we look. Pat Chinook just breaking out of his 20-metre line. Full-back and player coach Steve Gibson there releasing his own player. The referee taking them back a good 10 metres there. Now as number 12 Simon Bamber gets to within 5 metres of the halfway line, but once more it's the last tackle. Ball moving across field, but it's the standoff. Steve Garkland pumping that ball back into Keighley territory. Jeff Butterfield on the end of it, looks to get through, gets again within 5 metres of the halfway line before being tackled. Ramshaw switches play to this side of the field at Steve Hall just loses his footing in that heavy ground in the centre. Ramshaw onto Kevin Marr. Kevin Marr looking to offload all the time there, looking for the supporting player, but Paul O'Keefe, the Rochdale centre, wrapping him up. Andy Ayres back to Martin Wood, but Martin Wood not taking that ball cleanly. It was his ball, he should have taken it. It's no good turning around and talking to those, Martin. That was your ball and it was in a good area. Comes across and says we need 5 forward up here, not 5 we need excellent, but anyway to keep it down. Rochdale then inside the Keighley half of the field. Scrum half Ian Bates. Just trying to work something there round the, round in a circle really. Ball through the hands of Gartland out this side. Well covered there by the Keighley defence. Oh, and he spotted a hole there, did Paul O'Keefe. He looks to step Jeff Butterfield, but Jeff Butterfield stood his ground. He didn't buy the dummies from the step. Patchinwick now, though, setting something up through the hands of Gartland. On to Cavill-Hugh. Cavill-Hugh switches it back to Gibson on the 10-metre line, right in front. And they're going for a drop, but that ball striking a Keighley player and striking the post. And he scores. Well, that was a lot of good fortune for Rochdale. Keighley certainly standing back and admiring the attempted drop there, Darrell, from the standoff for Steve Gartland. Watched that it didn't go to the post. It struck under their men, came back. A sort of a very, very tentative kick through by Rochdale. Struck the post and came back. Really laid a look very much on their side.
Certainly was, John, but they played on. That was the main thing. They went after the ball. They attacked the ball. Like we keep saying, you know, they weren't going to let Keighley have it without a fight. So they took the ball and they finished up scoring a try. Keighley should have had it.
And I think that's the first time that Rochdale have even ventured into the 20-metre area. They've got 4 points on the board. They've got 10 minutes on the clock. And really it all stemmed from that break on this side when Paul O'Keefe managed to get between the two Keighley defenders. He stepped. Jeff Butterfield didn't take the subsequent step in, but you saw the rest. Martin Stret then looking to add the extras to the try. And again strikes the upright. This time not being fortunate for Rochdale and coming back into the field of play. So 4 points to nil then. The scoreline reads and 10 minutes on the clock. Certainly given the Rochdale support, and there's plenty of them below us, giving them plenty to talk about and shout about in the early stages. And character called for from Keighley even as early as this. Ball striking the foot of Vinnie Miller there and managing to get back to almost to the 20-metre line before being tackled. Still on the 30-metre line there as the second rower, Mick Worrell, tackled to the ground. And in fact, the referee pulling out Jason Ramshaw, I think, there for a high tackle on, in fact, an elbow, he said, on Cavill-Hugh. Use of the elbow signalled there by Mr. Nicholson. And Patchinwick opting to take the tap rather than run the risk of not finding touch in this very strong wind that they're facing, and the play going up to within a couple of metres of the halfway line. Patchinwick switching play out this side to, in fact that's Simon Bamber, that's number 12. Bates getting the ball, but the backing up player there surrendering to the heavy conditions in the centre of the field. Patchinwick again switching play though this time. This is the loose forward Marriott, tackled well there by Brendan Hill, and that passed well forward and straight into touch.
Come on, lads!
But certainly it looked a bit forward with that pass anyway, Darrell, but Mr. Nicholson not interested, more interested in the fact that it went into touch.
Yeah, well, same decision, John. Forward pass or into touch, scrum down, keep the ball.
Andy Ayres then feeds the scrum in and out, or in and now out. Martin Wood bringing on Jeff Butterfield. Jeff Butterfield ducking under the attempted tackles but falling to them. And Wood switches play now to Ayres on this short side, brings on Mark Brooke-Cowden. Mark Brooke-Cowden got 4 Rochdale players round. He just couldn't part with that ball. And it's Wayne Race now going on his own, driving the play into the centre area of the field, or making towards the centre of the field, tackled just inside the Rochdale 20. Ramshaw out to Ian Gately on the bump. Gately coming. Oh, a tremendous run there from Ian Gately, putting Rochdale in defence into difficulties. And the switch there, is it in? No, I don't think so. He was twisted over, and I don't really know why Jason Ramshaw went for that. The set was on by NDS to go under the post, wasn't it?
Yeah, there was a set move on there, it showed, John. You know, I can't weigh it why, but at least Keighley get the ball. You know, well, we should get the ball now, because the quirk in the rules state that the attacking side will tackle over in goal, so it's a scrum down, head and ball to the attacking side, which will Keighley.
Yeah, inside the set of 6 tackles, so they do get. But I mean, surely that was definitely a try written all of it where the move was set. But Ayres now out to Milner. Milner, if he moves it fast, Jeff Butterfield's in. That's a good try by Jeff Butterfield. But I still think it should have been a try earlier. But nonetheless, the 4 points are back on the board there for Keighley in the 14th minute.
Yeah, good try that, John. Everybody did a lot of running off the ball, putting Rochdale in one or two minds. When the long ball come out, Mark managed to get rid of it. Jeff just took the ball over and went, good try.
One thing that I have noticed early on in this game, now it's only just over 14 minutes old, Darrell, is that Keighley, in fact, are moving the ball very, very quickly from the play of the ball, something that we've not seen from them this season.
Yeah, well, like we said before game started, John, we've got to start getting this ball out wide. We can't play up this middle all the time. No good having good fast centres if you're not going to feed them often enough.
Johnny Walker then, difficult conversion attempt. 10 metres in, but there you are, you can see the ball falling over again. That's the second time. Andy Ayres just standing back, waiting to see if he needs assistance, and wisely deciding that that's only going to be the only way to do it. Initially setting himself up there for the left-footed kicker, used to hauling the ball for John Vassalou. Would have been in danger of losing his head had he done so for Johnny Walker. Well, that ball not going through the uprights. So it's all scores level, 4 points apiece. And certainly since that try was scored, and now when we restart, we've had 2.5 minutes on the running clock, which I'm sure gives a lot of justification to the thoughts that the watch should stop once the try's been scored until the kick-off takes place again and play restarts. Kevin Marr though for Keighley finds a hole. Mark Milner, but Mark Milner puts the ball down. Surrenders possession. He got the line begging for him there. A nice pass really out from Kevin Marr, and not only surrendering the ball to the ground but surrendering it to the opposition as well. On the halfway line then, Cavill-Hugh looks to offload but threatens to offload, doesn't do, spins out of the tackle, gets another 2 valuable metres further forward, and play round out to Ian Bates now. Bates feeds off to number 11 Mick Worrell over the far side of the field, just short of 10 metres inside the Cougars half. A nice ball out again from Bates, feeding it out there to, I believe, number 12 Simon Bamber. This is standoff though. Gartland kicks the ball through. Wayne Race. The ball bounces kindly for Wayne Race as he looks to get away, but manages to get 15 metres from his own line before being brought to ground. Andy Ayres picking up the bits there and running into... Getting over, does it? No, the referee says he's inches short. And again, it's Jason Ramshaw trying to get his name on the sheet. The ball screaming to go out there. No need for Jason Ramshaw to try that one. And a Rochdale player interfering there, but in fact, Mark Cowden taking the short kick there. But I'll say this, Dal, I've got to say, I do wish Jason Ramshaw get his act together and stop trying to score these tries when moves are set up.
Yeah, John, everybody were there waiting for the ball coming out. Players were packed around, play the ball. There were 5 or 6 Rochdale players around to play the ball. He had to get it out wide. He didn't. He tried to go on his own. They brought more in. Fortunately, Martin was able to put a little kick in and we scored off it. But let's get this ball out earlier.
Yeah, twice Jason's got out of jail there. Twice I've got to say, he's messed up a move. But twice Keighley have scored from the subsequent play the ball thanks to the wider... Ball up in the air, hanging in the wind as Martin Wood gets it away to Steve Hall. He had 2 to go for, and the arm of the tackler there still round Stevie Hall's throat from the point at which it made the tackle. Kevin Marr looks and gets off to Andy Ayres. Andy Ayres feeds Mark Milner on the far side of the field, but he's brought to ground 30 metres out from his own line. Gets up, plays the ball. Kevin Marr acting half back, but a forward pass there, definitely a forward pass. The referee on spot to see it. And I think apart from the ball action, the ball movement there, the arm action told it all, didn't it?
Certainly did, John. Couldn't go anywhere else but forward with Andy Ayres' arm action.
So then Rochdale now got the opportunity to reform themselves, and they've done it, allowing to be offloaded there, but good tackling there by Nick Pinkney on Paul O'Keefe. 25 metres out, O'Keefe just interfering a little bit there in the tackle of Nick Pinkney. And the ball being lost there by the wingman Vinnie Miller. Good pressure tackling there by Keighley. Head and feed then to Keighley, some 25, 22, 23, even 24 out from their own line. I'll call it, you take your pick. That ball out the back so quickly that Andy Ayres had to really move to get to it. Jeff Butterfield eventually on the end of the passing. Back to the line of where the scrum originally was formed as Ayres looped round the back there to regather the pass from Martin Wood. Brendan Hill coming down the hill, taking them with him. But the ball's been lost once more, and Keighley certainly not respecting possession in this first half. And respect of possession and points on the board, Daryl, is absolutely crucial, as we've seen, because every time Rochdale have got the ball, they're slowing it down, using up valuable seconds against this wind, aren't they?
Wind and slope, John, yeah, they're playing the right sort of game, really. They'll be quite happy at 10-4 at half-time, I should think. You know, Keighley's got to speed the game up. Like we said, we've got to throw it out wide, but we haven't got to throw it out wide silly. We haven't got to start slipping passes when there's 5 men round, which is what we seem to be doing.
20 metres out then as Rochdale come up, throw a long ball out from Bates to stand off Gartland. He finds loose forward Marriott over the far side, feeds the ball on there. That looked forward as well. And Rochdale still keeping this ball alive in the middle of the field. Bates ducking under the tackle there of Ian Gately, eventually brought to ground some 12 metres from the line. Referee calling the players back as Gartland gets the ball out once more to the second row, Mick Worrell. And again the ball going loose, but being knocked forward. We've got 24.5 minutes on the clock. We've got 10 points to 4 on the board in favour of Keighley. And we've got a gale force wind at the backs of Keighley. Out the back of the scrum then, Andy Ayres brings on John Walker, steps through initial tackles, gets a good 15 or 10 metres away from the area where the scrum was formed, and the referee penalising Rochdale for holding down it wasn't so much the fact that he was holding down as he pushed the player down as he was trying to get back up after the tackle had been completed. Nice ball by Mark Brook-Cowden through the hands of Pinckney onto Wayne Race. Wayne Race has got the legs, he's going, Wayne Race is going, a lovely try there by Wayne Race. Absolutely superb try. He was a tiptoe job down the touchline side. And my, how that man went down. You can still see the footprints in the mud down the side of the field. A brilliant try there by Wayne. He saw the try line. There was only one way to go, Darrell, and that was straight.
Tell you what, John, excellent try there. I was just about to say I thought we might have kicked for position before running the ball. But they noticed, Keighley must have noticed that man for man, they had an extra man out of this way. Quick tap and away it went. The excellent finish was that. Beautiful try.
Try coming then on in the 25th, in the 26th minute of the game then, and I don't think you'll see better than that. Jason Ramshaw then just on station, just in case the ball required to be held for John Walker. This will certainly be a tester because it needs to be set off towards the far corner flag, I think. And it wasn't. Points to 4 then, with just over 10 minutes or just over 12 minutes rather of the first half remaining. Martin Stret then just gets play underway. Wayne Race steadying the ball with his feet. The advancing Rochdale players certainly coming up very, very quickly there. Wayne not able to get away from that 10-metre area initially. It's now up to the forwards to take Keith back towards the halfway line, and the ball being lost. The referee looking for assistance to the touch judge. The touch judge in fact said it was a knock-on. In fact, he didn't say anything, so the referee has said it's a knock-on. But it certainly looked the way the ball came out that it had been assisted. And one thing that will be interesting, Darrell, is to watch this Rochdale scrum, isn't it? When we were over at Rochdale, they had quite a good ploy. It's a different coach now, but the fullback going down, feigning injury and dropping a man out of the scrum. We need to watch it when Keith are feeding the ball in their own half, don't we?
That's what we need to watch, John. Yeah, we talked about it before the game. Like I say, it's a different coach, but once these moves come into a club, they tend to keep him for a while till the new coach says, no, we're not that on the head. He might think it's a good one and keep it in. We'll have to wait and see.
Rochdale in the meantime then setting up attack on the far side of the field, 25 metres out from the Keighley line. Patchnewick getting the ball out to the supporting prop. And Gartland deciding to take play back in. Again, Keighley doing the tackling job in the centre of the field. Again, Patchnewick acting half-back, gets the ball out there to number 11, Mick Worrell on the far side. And play just stagnating as the fifth tackle comes up for Rochdale. They'll be looking to move it, but Bates put under a lot of pressure there, threw the ball away. Kevin Marr, well, it looked to me to be tripped as he went through there, as he kicked that ball through, but as it is, it's a scrum down some 30 metres out from the Rochdale line. It's Rochdale's head and feed. And certainly possession on their own 30-metre line. Marriott now in possession, running determinedly at this Keighley defence on this side. Gets up, plays the ball. Patchnewick gets the ball out, but second row Bamber spilling that ball in the tackle.
Control the ball, Andy! Control it!
Just a couple of metres then inside the Rochdale half. Ayres gets the ball out to Wood. Wood brings on Butterfield again. Butterfield getting those additional yards beyond the advantage line of the scrum as Wood now feeds the ball back to Ayres. Ayres to Mark Brooke-Cowden rather, but Nick Pinkney putting the ball down. Cliff Eccles, good driving run there from Eccles back towards the 10 from halfway line. Patchnowick again moves the ball through as Patchnowick puts the ball into touch and finds it 30 metres from the Keighley line. We've now got 32 minutes of the first half gone, plus of course any stoppages. Ayres then gets the ball from the scrum, decides to attack the defence on his own. Gains good yardage there, but it's the loose forward Carl Marriott doing the tackling. Johnny Walker now taking on the defence. Just inside the Rochdale half of the field. Eventually. Kevin Marr losing that ball, but not able to take it, I should say. Brendan Hill releasing the ball in the tackle. Martin Wood taking play on, looks to support to pass it to, can't find it, takes the tackle, and it's Nick Pinkney feeding Steve Hall. Steve Hall driving through, lost off. Mark Brooke-Cowden goes. Certainly bringing the team on, but the crowd on rather, but the Rochdale defence really backing off Steve Hall there as he drove in, and Andy Ayres just not securing that ball again. And again, as we've said on a number of occasions this half, Keighley not respecting possession, losing it in very, very good attacking positions. Bates then feeds the ball, never went near the scrum, but gets away with it. Rochdale on their own 30-metre line then. Patchnowick with the ball onto Marriott. Marriott searches and probes up that far touchline side. Bringing on the second row, Warral. And a good tackle there by Mark Brooke-Cowden. Ball coming out through the hands of Bates, back to Cavill-Hugh. Cavill-Hugh certainly running a lot off this Rochdale scrum half in the first half of this game. And I think Simon Bamber has been the cause of a lot of the breakdowns of attempts by Rochdale in this first half. He seemed to have taken the ball and died with it on a number of occasions, and certainly to me looks like a likely candidate for substitution. Andy Ayres then feeds the scrum on his own 20-metre line, gets it out to Martin Wood. Martin Wood kicks it down for the chase. Pinkney there, kicks the ball on. And Vinnie Miller does well to get it, but in fact, that's a bad decision, I think, there by Mr Nicholson there, Daniel.
Certainly is, John. When ball's up floor, it's anybody's. He didn't say anything, he didn't indicate anything, he just penalised Keighley. That was a very bad decision.
And not only that, it's been compounded by another decision there for alleged rubbing of the face and offside. Offside given by the touch judge on this side. 3 consecutive penalties there from a rank bad decision by Mr Nicholson. We've got to say that when the ball's on the floor, it's 50-50, anybody goes for it, and to penalise the player for going for the ball is like saying you can't play from the start of the game. Bad decision, Mr Nicholson. Bates then with a forward pass out to Warral on the far side of the field. Mr Nicholson certainly didn't see that. Bates then gets the ball out. Moving across there, that man Bamber again, being caught in possession. Struggles away from the tackle. It's Patchnewick gets the ball out to loose forward Marriott on the far side. Marriott shrugs off the first attempted Keighley tackle. We've got something like 4 minutes on the running clock left, and that ball striking Johnny Walker on the kick through. So it's a Rochdale head and feed. We've got just under 5 minutes left. We've got 14 points to 4 on the board in favour. We're inside the last minute of running time, and the ball falls over. Mr. Nicholson decides that he will now stop the clock. And in fact, indicating to the players, I think there on the Rochdale side, that according to his watch there's about a minute left. And the ball managing to scrape its way over the post. It gives them 2 points, the stretch penalty. And from incident to restart, that has taken just over 2.5 minutes. And we've still not restarted. And that brings up 3 minutes. Martin Wood then puts the ball downfield. And Rochdale, I think, will be content to just hang on to the ball for 6 here. Keighley have really got to do something. And Brendan Hill did a tremendous tackling job on the first tackle there. And Rochdale then working the way upfield, 25 out from their own line. Loose forward Marriott going up the touchline side on the far side of the field. 5 metres now from the halfway line. Walking off the mark, no question about it there, and still walking in fact, as Ian Bates now takes the ball in towards the halfway line for Rochdale. 14 points to 6 rather the scoreline reading at the moment. We've had tries from Jeff Butterfield, from Mark Brook-Cowden, and also from Wayne Race. And guess who got caught with the ball there? Certainly having a nightmare, and certainly taking a little bit out of other people because of it is Simon Babber, the number 12. Kevin Marr, the number 12 for Keighley, going down the far touchline side. 20 metres out, being held on to there by the Rochdale player as Steve Hall drives the ball in. Into the Rochdale 20. We've now got 41.5 minutes, nearly 42 minutes on the running clock as Andy Ayres takes the ball on the switch. But the Rochdale defence certainly didn't take that dummy. They took the man, he took the ball. And Brendan Hill now driving in towards the corner. Is he in? Brendan Hill's in. That's the perfect answer for Brendan Hill. He may have had a crack from the tackle from Bamber, but he's got the 4 points on the board for Keighley. Good try there by Brendan, right on the stroke of half-time, and what better time to score, Darryl?
Excellent time to score that, John. You know, 14-6, we could have done a bit more. We've got it now, 18-6. Gives Keighley that little bit of a gap, which is what they wanted. It's not going to be easy in the second half. Got to settle ourselves down, but that's one way to do it. Good try, that.
Johnny Walker then with a very difficult conversion attempt, and I'll tell you what, if this is difficult, any attempts that he will have in the second half will be even worse. Never off the ground there, but there's the half-time hooter. 18 points to 6, the scoreline reads in favour of Keighley, and almost 4 minutes of stoppage time in the first half.
Yes, sir.
this half. Come on.
Next island, it's on the island next to it.
Rochdale substitution number for Bamba.
Oh, we flying there. Both come on for Bamba.
Rochdale then getting the second half underway, kicking deep into the Keighley half. Dave Harmer coming on for Simon Bamba. Not something that we would have predicted, I don't think. Ian Gately. Keighley changed the tops at the half-time break. Certainly gives our job a little bit, makes our job a bit easier as Mark Brook-Cowden comes up halfway through the first tackle, but it's Harmer who does the tackling. Steve Hall driving up to the halfway line. Scrum half Bates wisely waiting for him to come to him, not going to meet the guy, and Martin Wood kicks that ball, and the winger looks like Jason Green, I think Jason Green, allowing the ball to go into touch. We've got a scrum then just on that 10-metre line. It'll be the Rochdale feed. Ian Bates feeds that ball, it comes out round the back there to Green. Green stepping round, but tackled there in possession by a combination, Mark Brook-Cowden and Martin Woods. Mark Brook-Cowden half stopping the Rochdale player there as he came forward, the substitute Harmer. And this is Marriott looking to break out of his own 20, but having to take that tackle.
Up we go!
Oh, a little bit of an adjustment there, Mr. Nicholson seeing it. The ball just not lifting off the floor there by the fingertips.
We'd like to thank our sponsors today, Harrison Cliff.
And so we go down to scrum. Just outside the 20s. Andy Ayres gets the ball out. Martin Wood onto Nick Pinkney. Pinkney attacks. But well tackled there by Paul O'Keefe. O'Keefe being certainly put on to mark the man. Martin Wood gets through the subsequent tackle of O'Keefe there, and it's Jason Ramshaw now setting something up with Steve Hall. Steve Hall driving it into the 10-metre area of Rochdale. Takes a number of Rochdale players to bring him down to ground. Eventually gets up and plays it to Ramshaw. On through the hands of Ayres. Ayres brings on Mark Brook-Cowden. A readjustment there by the Kiwi. Eventually brought to ground, and it's Ramshaw again, setting it up as Ian Gately goes! Ian Gately scores! And that's the second try in 4 days for Ian Gately. We've not seen too many of those from him. We've not seen too much running from him. But what a busting run there by the Australian.
Well done,
Yeah, good
Steve.
football that, John. You know, when Steve Hall got the ball, drove in there, dragged the defence in, quick play the ball, come out wide. All right, they were standing off him. They weren't sure what they were going to do. Everybody knew they were just going to run at him. They stood off. It's fair to do that. Good try.
And just to watch the way in which he was walking back towards the halfway line there, as laid back as you like, but my words, he wasn't laid back when he went through to score that try. Super try there from the big Keighley number 10.
No stopping him there, was there? No stopping him there.
And that try coming at the perfect time as far as Keighley were concerned. It's only 3 minutes into the second half. They're playing against the gale, they're playing against the slope, they're playing against everything, and that's taken Rochdale by storm.
Not more tackles today, and then we go for a long one in those games. And it's busted through today, but it's just been gone before, hasn't it?
Johnny Walker got, it doesn't look very far from where he's kicking that to the post, but he's going straight into the teeth of the gale. Oh, and he's kicked it! Oh, well done Johnny Walker in very adverse conditions.
Johnny Walker.
Good 10 minutes here, just... Hold it for your sixes here. Concentrate from the kick guard now. Well,
Rochdale absolutely taken by surprise by that try. Remember, they kicked off to start this half as they are doing now, and all Keighley did was drive the ball back up the field and take the opportunity as it presented itself. Wayne Race now sees an opportunity to extend things, still skipping away, still coming away, brings on Mark Milner. Milner coming up, the defence has followed them right across the field, and really that tackle had been completed. There was no need for that to be followed through by Rochdale. As Johnny Walker comes through, brings on Mark Brooke-Cowden, the loose forward, very much a big key player in that try there for Ian Gately, bringing play up. Brendan Hill coming through now, Keighley on the rampage, 20 metres from the line, onto Andy Ayres. Martin Wood comes on, presents the ball to the big fella Gately, he goes in, he looks to offload, but Rochdale had closed it down. He's trying to get up, they're not going to let him. But Ramshaw now, Ramshaw gets onto Ayres, Ayres brings on Mar's ducking through the tackle. It's the last one coming up, what we're going to see here. Ramshaw gets the ball, going on the short side, brings on Gately, Gately brings it out there to Nick Pingley, Pingley's in! Oh, that's 2 tries in 2 minutes! Oh, and what a strike, Darrell, what an absolute strike after half-time for Keighley.
Yeah, like you said, John, Rochdale kicked off, goal kicked it in first straight away, 6 tackles and scored. They've done just the same again there. Wayne Race got them in all sorts of minds, running across and forward. And then on the last tackle, they'll go score in the corner. Rochdale are going to blow in this, blowing wide open now.
Yeah, 2 sets of 6 there, 2 tries, and very, very disappointing news as far as Rochdale are concerned. One of the key playmakers being led off the field with what looks to be a very serious arm or shoulder injury. Scum half Ian Bates leaves the field on the far side.
He listens to what we've said. John about goal kicking. I guess work it and when wind were blowing just like it is today, but not as strong. They brought it back here. I say I've got a cat now, his chance of kicking it, but at least he's listened. Wind's too strong, I think.
John Walker then being called in, Jason Ramshaw being called in to hold the ball for Johnny Walker. And really this Cougar Park stadium being set alight by the way in which the Cougars have come out in this second half. We were saying just before the break that they would need to do the tackle in the second half with the wind and the slope against them, and they've done just the opposite. They've really attacked, and they've scored 2, but that was a tremendous attempt there again by John Walker. The ball just landing short, but the direction correct. Ian Bates then, as I said, during that period between the try being scored and the conversion, having left the field, Richard Gott having taken his place. Straight then restarts again, the ball going deep into the Keighley try line area, played by the body of Steve Hall. Steve Hall driving up. A good break out of defence there by Hall. Got just at at the marker. Kevin Marr. Certainly been made sure that he was going down to the ground there by the Rochdale defenders. Brendan Hill bursting through, gets the ball to Ayres, but Ayres well policed by centre Martin Stretch on this occasion. Jason Ramshaw, look, 3 markers there, eventually deciding to get back. Ramshaw again, onto Hall rather. Hall drives the ball in, 10 metres, 12 metres inside the Rochdale half of the field. The Hornets in retreat. Martin Wood puts the ball up high, it's hanging in the air. Nobody knows where it is, but Mark Milner knocking the ball on, but knocking it back into the Rochdale hands. So Rochdale now have got the job of taking this ball away from that danger area as far as they're concerned. Being driven back still towards their own 10-metre line. Ian Gately having a mountain of a game. How he failed to get the man of the match award in the game against Sultan, goodness only knows, but that was the case. But certainly very much a candidate for it this afternoon, even though the game is only just into the second half. Rochdale then switching play, looking for the kick to relieve the pressure. That kick's a good one, finding touch just outside the Keighley 10. Driving Keighley all the way back down this slope.
We'd like to thank one of the match sponsors today, National Taxis. That's National Taxis, one of the match sponsors, and the ball sponsor, Paris Sale, a member of the European Parliament. I'd like to thank them too very much. Not forgetting Harrison Cliff, your match sponsor, and not forgetting our main sponsors, Wagner Trade.
Play restarting then just outside the Keighley 10-metre line. Ayres feeds the ball, gets it out of the back, decides to come back round the base of the scrum. Ramshaw onto Martin Wood. Martin Wood just steps to his left and half throws the Rochdale defence, but eventually going to ground just outside his own 20. Play switched. Ayres finds Brendan Hill. Brendan Hill coming up this touchline side. Cavalhue doing the tackle there. And Cavalhue, the second row there, Mick Worrell failing to secure Mark Milner on the first attempt, eventually does so on the second attempt. And it's Steve Hall now taking play in. Offloads there to Gately, the man. Feeds Nick Pinkney. Pinkney steps. Pinkney goes. Oh, what a try! What a wonderful try by Nick Pinkney. Words fail me on the description of that. It was sheer class, sheer centre play. I can't find the words, Darrell, other than magic for that.
Yeah, excellent try, John. Like we say, get the ball out wide, give it to these centres. Beautiful dummy there. They all took the dummy, saw the gap between two players. In excellent try.
And really, Rochdale must be wondering what on earth's happening. They've got the elements and the geography in their favour, and inside 12 minutes they've conceded 3 tries. One short of the entire first half concessions.
Keep it going, Mark!
Just gone playing with Mark Field there, isn't it? Plowing. By him a plough. John Walker then attempting a conversion. Well, he's given it a chance, but the wind's just blown it across the face. I think first and foremost the crowd in the stand thought it might have been going, but the wind taking its own effect on that ball. And again, that restart down into that same corner of the field. A good kick that, because it hung in the air. It gave the Rochdale players the opportunity of getting to the place where the ball was going to land and putting pressure on Keighley. But Steve Hall having different ideas, getting back almost to the 30-metre line before being brought to ground. Ramshaw brings on Ayres. Ayres, long ball out there. Was going to be a long ball, but it was Kevin Marr who took it, and in fact the referee judging that ball gone forward.
No need, Kevin. Come on.
I think possibly Keighley just deciding that they wanted to move that ball quickly and attack the Rochdale defence, whereas security on that occasion might have been the best option.
Good work, Mark Milner.
Mark Milner not taking the dummy of the man coming through. Getting the ball away to the man in support, but he only going down to ground was fellow centre O'Keefe. Harmer then just looking to get to the 20-metre line, but being driven almost back to the 30 line before eventually surrendering to the tackle. We're all just having a taste of the mud in the centre of the field there. A little run round operating, and Andy Ayres on the end of the drop ball says thank you very much. Mark Milner just not sure where he could get to. Ramshaw then feeds Ayres. Ayres brings on the big fella Hill. Hill coming up towards the Hall, I beg your pardon. Only one letter wrong in the name. Ramshaw onto Ayres. Kevin Marr takes a part in the action. Looks for the halfway line but brought down a metre short. And it's Ramshaw, waits at acting half-back onto Ayres. Ayres brings on Martin Wood. Wood does the run round with Ayres, but Cavill Hugh, wise to the move that was going on. And Martin Wood looks to get that ball away. I think he might, under the circumstances, have probably been better of taking it in and accepting the tackle and the handover. But it's Rochdale now, down that far side of the field. Reeling from that first 12 minutes of this second half, when the Cougars added 16 to the total of 18 that they went into the half-time break with. Sorry, 14 to the total, but nonetheless surrendering possession there, Rochdale, giving it back to Keighley was Richard Gott. And Keighley just waiting, wanting to do a substitution. Mark Milner coming off, Carlton Farrell coming on, and I can only think that this is a precautionary measure, because Mark Milner did have a groin strain in the midweek game against Barrow. And Ayres gets the ball out, switches play to Martin Wood on the short side. Pinckney feeds Race, but Race is bundled into touch there on the halfway line. Good thinking there though, the play being switched round the base of the scrum. And in fact it looked to me as though loose forward Marriott had broken from the scrum very, very early, almost on top of Andy Ayres when he picked that ball up, shutting down the options of the midfield ball. Scrum won there then by Rochdale, just inside the Keighley half. Moving play through the hands of Marriott now. Marriott offloads rather tentatively there to O'Keefe.
Well done,
and Ian Gately there. Good tackling on O'Keefe. And that's the hooker Patchnewick getting in. Well, getting himself almost buried in that bit of a soft stuff in the middle. 3 tackles consumed then for Rochdale as they get just towards the 30-metre line. This is Worrell, but again tackled in possession. The Keighley defence done a good job here. The ball going to come this short side, and it's fed out then to Strett, but well met there by Carlton Farrell and Johnny Walker as the ball going back inside and knocked on again by Richard Gott. And a handover position there as Keighley play that ball quickly on their own 20-metre line. Ramshaw out to Ayres. Ayres well met in the tackle and struggling to get up. 7 or 8 metres from the halfway line, the foot being hung onto in the tackle, the referee ignoring it, and Mark Brook-Cowden takes his turn to search for that line. Ramshaw onto Ayres. Ayres runs round with Brendan Hill, finds Stevie Hall. He bursts into the Rochdale half. It's the last tackle, the arm in the air from the referee. Kevin Marr looks to see where the defence is, puts the ball in, wisely puts it low, and that's a good run away from defence by Rochdale, coming down this stand side of the field. Ball going inside to Jason Green. We've not seen anything at all of him, but excellent covering there by Carlton Farrell as Rochdale get back to the halfway line.
boys. Well right.
Got tackled by his opposite number, Farrell.
Filled in by Gately.
Oh, and that ball clinging in the heavy stuff there as Stret gets through. Stret's going down, steps inside to Stret. Referee almost gets in the way, and well, it looked as though that was on from the word go there, Daryl. There was a hole down this side. It was played on the short side, and Stret saw the hole and went for it.
Certainly was, John, there, wide gap there. He saw it early, off he went. Keighley didn't close it. As soon as he saw it, straight through. Good try.
In fact, the referee just having a word with the touch judge there in front of the sticks. I'm not sure what Mr. Robinson's saying to him, but I'm sure Mr. Nicholson will either take notice of it or tell him to go back and run the line. That Martin Stret try then coming exactly halfway through this second half of the game, just on the hour. He will be trying to convert the try himself. And we've certainly got, as the wind speed and intensity increases, we certainly need the weight up here to hold us down. The roof, or what's left of it, is flat. The Keighley substitution then as Brendan Hill leaves the field. Phil Stevenson takes his place.
Come on lads, no let up, come on!
The scoreline currently reading 32 points to 12. Keighley have still got to be on the metal. There's a 20-point difference, but 2 tries certainly would narrow that. It's a good kick there by Martin Wood. Under the circumstances, the kicking having to come to this side of the field to get what little of assistance they may get from the wind. And we have a scrum just outside the Rochdale 10. Ball not going in, or same way out, whichever way you want to look at it. But this time it's out to Rochdale, but tidied up round the far side of the scrum for Keighley. Again, this short sight being worked. Green, the man, looking to find the hole in the Keighley defence, and to some extent instrumental in the initial setting up of that try that they've just scored. Cavill gets the ball out then to the supporting Rochdale player. Just short of 10 metres from the halfway line. Harmer gets up and plays it. Patchnewick switches play. Cavill juggles, readjusts, gets it out to Patchnewick. In the centre there. Martin Wood picks up the spillages there though from Rochdale. Settles play down a little bit for Keighley. Not standing square at all there, the 13 and 14. No attempt to stand square. And I think, Dal, I don't know what you think about it, but certainly this standing square at the play of the ball is one of the areas that referees have ignored of late.
Yeah, they have, John. Yeah, they should tighten it up a bit. We've said on the past that if you don't stand square, you can close play down a lot. I mean, there's a way he's caught Steve there. He's on to Steve before he gets the ball virtually, you know. The referee should look at it.
And Keighley there really just been caught at 6s and 7s as that ball went across. Nick Pinkney looking to get his place back in the line, and still shaking his head in disbelief that the ball could have come back. Ian Gately though switches it back inside. Kevin Mark gets inside the Rochdale 20. Keighley on the attack once more, coming up this slope into the wind. Ramshaw feeds it out to Martin Wood. Wood chips it through, looks for the chase, but recovered by Rochdale. Keighley now got to keep the Rochdale attack tight inside this half, as the man half offloads, half spills the ball out to the wingman. And just a little bit of toing and throwing going on behind the line there between Ramshaw, Gately and a couple of Rochdale players. And Rochdale contain on the 20-metre line. I believe that's 3 tackles of the set of 6 gone. That's certainly another one.
Come on, work the line, work the line!
Ball played out now and the kick comes. Good kick again, looking for touch, but it's going to bounce back in field. Jeff Butterfield does well to take it, but runs straight at the opposition. Having said that, there was good cover on the inside from Rochdale as well. An attempted kick at the ball there, but Carlton Farrell secures the ball as it was played well by Jeff Butterfield. Ramshaw, Stevenson striding through the thick stuff. Ramshaw out to Ayres, brings on Kevin Marr on the far side. Marr strides through the first tackle, looks again for the offload. Turning in the tackle all the time is Kevin Marr. Andy Ayres, tackled on the halfway line. Marbrook Cowden feeds in Ian Gately. Gately striding through, but loose forward Marriott on hand there to do the tackling. It's Hall now, going on his own from acting half. Hall decides he's going to be a footballer. Follows the ball through, does the tackling, but the man's still allowed to get away. And in fact, the ball going over the far side now. I'm not sure who it is. It looks like O'Keefe. And I would have thought not the best of tactics by the second rower, Steve Hall there, Darryl.
Not really, John. You know, Keighley's, I like they should have the game won, but they've got to be careful. Can't afford to let Rochdale get another couple of quick tries, like you said. Got to steady the game down, keep taking it to them and pinch out that's there, but you don't take silly risks.
And in fact, Rochdale just surrendering possession there and deciding, I think really frustration creeping in. Just creeping in a little bit there was that frustration. And we've got a substitution. Kevin Marr leads the field, and I've also seen Rochdale take a player off the field as well. Not sure who it was, but certainly one of the Rochdale players has gone for a blood bin. Just been tidied up and coming straight back on. Out to Keighley then. Martin Wood doing well to hang on to that, and Jeff Butterfield just falling to the clingy in the centre. Marbrook Cowden, Jason Ramshaw feeds Steve Hall. Hall drives the ball in. Decided the Stanley Matthew boots have gone back in the locker for the rest of the season and just takes a tackle. Ayres out to Wood. Wood gets a long ball out to Pinkney. Pinkney juggles and readjusts, loses the momentum, but still manages a further 5 metres. And Wayne Race deciding to go from his own at acting half. Still the wiry little fella gets away from the tackles. He's still going away. Good ground, although almost sideways, but still did very well to get away there as Andy Ayres puts the ball high. The wind takes account of it, brings it back. Mark Milner's under it, offloads to Martin Wood. Johnny Walker does the football, but I'm afraid the referee's pulled him back for being offside. And I think if we have it right, he may just have been marginally in front of the kicker when Martin Wood kicked it, Darryl.
Only be a couple of yards, John.
Come on, reset and work.
Ball nearly coming through the hole in the roof, but missing us. And it's 30 metres out from the Rochdale line as they launch an attack towards the Keighley half. We've now got something like 10 minutes or thereabouts on the running clock left in this game. The scoreline reading 32 points to 12 in Keighley's favour. And the real crunch coming just in that 3-try blitz just after the half-time break. Ball being dropped to the floor, but picked up by Worrell and eventually spilled over. And Richard got, again, I'm afraid, whilst he's got a substitute number on his back, I've got to say, Darryl, Richard got not what you might call a very good replacement for the injured scrum half Ian Bates.
No, Bates for making him tick, John, first half. It's been a good thing for Keighley that he's out.
Martin Wood then breaking through, not able to release the tackle. He was being shepherded well across the field there by by Marriott. Mark Milner losing the ball in the tackle, but in fact Keighley regathering possession. The ever-awake Mark Brook-Cowden picking that ball up. Steve Hall driving in. And it's Ramshaw now finding Keighley. Keighley dummies to the right, but almost has the head taken off him. Carlton Farrell pulled away, and certainly a tackle in the forbidden area without any shades of the imagination. The big fella gets up, shakes his head, and walks away at his normal gallop from the incident. The guilty party, Carl Marriott, being duly penalised, and John Walker called up in an attempt to convert the penalty. And I think if it gets any colder up here, the little bits are going to fall off. That's finger ends for those who are wondering.
I think I got beats this time last week, John.
And Daniel, you came back from Lanzarote for this, didn't you?
I certainly did. This time last Sunday I was asking for more ice in my Bacardi. I was too warm.
John Walker then attempting a penalty right on the 20-metre line, almost in front of the post, and we'll see what the wind does to this one.
Yes.
Well, he kept it low and he kept it straight, and he got the two. Good conversion there by John Walker. 34 points to 12 then.
The man of the match today by national captain.
33.
So it's been a very, very hard decision for them. And the ball agreed man of the match today is Mark Milner.
Well, the ways of these people who choose the man of the match, goodness me, they said it was a hard decision. My words is right. I wonder why, Darrell, that people never look at the powerhouse when they're picking man of the match awards.
I don't know, John. I think it's a little fun thing, that's all, man at match.
Yeah, and I suppose at the end of the day, the cash goes into the players' pool for the end of season thrash. Keighley picking the ball up there from the bootlaces, does well to get down that low and still pick it up and get further yardage towards the halfway line. Jason Ramshaw, Stevie Hall. Ball played, long ball out by Ramshaw, finds Martin Wood. Wood chips the ball over the top. Sees there wasn't really a bobby in place, but the man there coming in from the wing, Jason Green. And it's centre straight then, going on a run across field, but cross field's as far as he's going. He's tackled there by Stevenson and Hall in the centre of the area. Stevenson's stopping the man by the ankles, but the ball being allowed to be offloaded twice there, and Rochdale still taking it through. A little knock on there. We've got a scrum down some 35 yards out from the Rochdale line. Ayres then waits, brings the ball back, feeds the scrum out the back there. Martin Wood steps back inside, seeing that the Rochdale defence was coming up very, very quickly on the outside. Takes the tackle. Ayres in acting half, going again on his own, trying to step in the sludge, but you can't step in those conditions. All you do is dig a hole for yourself. Stevie Hall running straight at the defence, 10 metres from the Rochdale line. Another try now for Keighley will be the icing on the cake as Ramshaw gets the ball to Ayres. Ayres looks to step, offloads to Ramshaw again, out there to Carlton, and Martin Wood That's the icing on the cake. Carlton Farrell in the right place at the right time, just to assist the ball through there to Martin Wood. I said that's what we needed, Darryl, and that's just what we got.
Yeah, good try that, John. Keighley kept it alive well there. When Steve had driven in, you know, they throw the ball back to the post. We always had the numbers, just a matter of finding a man in the right gap, what we did in the end.
And that one coming 36 minutes of running time of the second half. The points surely secured in the bag now for Keighley. 38 points with the conversion from almost in front of the sticks. And Gately going to make another substitution. I think it's Ian Gately who's going to go to the touchline, and Mark Milner possibly coming back. Oh, in fact, back on. Mark Milner's already on, of course. It's in fact, it doesn't even look as though Keighley are going to bother putting anybody back on.
Yeah, they're on. He's on. Whoever's on, he's on. He's going through that.
Mark Milner came out. Mark Milner came out. Whiskey bottle was next time.
Kevin Marr back on again.
Kevin Marr, in fact, the one coming back on.
Not Martin. Anyway,
And Johnny Walker just securing the points there, as Mark Brookcowden holding the ball for him. That takes the points to 40 points to 12 now. The game, as I said, securely in the bag as far as Keighley are concerned. And in all honesty, Darryl, I've never seen a side look more demoralised than Rochdale are looking now. They came out in the second half surely expecting to score a bag full of points with the wind and the slope in their favour, and all they could manage with that solitary try and conversion.
Yeah, John, I think the coach will be very disappointed with them. Certainly the way they've played just recently, they should have had more reward, but I think they missed the scrum half. They missed a bit of direction this half.
Yeah, they have, but the coach is on the field, he's in the full-back position, he's there to see exactly what's going on. He should be able to call the shots and put them wise to the mistakes or whatever.
Can't take it away from Keighley though. Keighley played exceptionally well this second half.
Yeah, there is that, Darryl, there's certainly. I mean, that first 12 minutes was absolute dynamite of the second half. I think that was enough to demoralise anybody. Andy Ayres plays that ball, Martin Wood out then to Mark Brookcowden, brings on Milner, but Milner stitched up there by centre straight. Martin Wood, Jeff Butterfield, solid game at full-back from this veteran. Ramshaw out to Martin Wood again. The standoff pumps that ball up. And Stevie Hall going round, bends down, eventually picks it up. Oh, loses the ball. Manages a good chase there from that Martin Wood kick by Stevie Hall. Managed to do the business and pick the ball up, and then unfortunately the ball going forward is, but it was the last tackle. I'd not seen that, so not doing anything wrong under the circumstances, trying to keep it alive. Good work there by Hall and Carlton Farrell in support for the tackle.
Wedge it in, Jason. Wedge it in, Mark. Wedge it in.
Yeah.
Rochdale now moving the ball across field, and the wind, you could see there the wind taking effect of that ball. A bit of a knock on, and the referee spotting it. Rochdale surrendering possession there in the dying minutes of this game. We've had 8 tries to Keighley in this game, one from fullback Jeff Butterfield, who opened the account. Mark Brookcowden continued from there. Wayne Race added in, and Brendan Hill as well, as Wayne Race in possession now. Gets to the 20-metre line. The second half tries coming from Ian Gately, a couple from Nick Pinkney, and that last one from Martin Wood. But Mark Milner now in possession. He's going, offloads there to Johnny Walker, skips over the tackled Milner. As the ball comes back in, perhaps if Johnny had come in a little bit earlier, things might have worked out better. Mark Milner just hobbling away there from that. Jeff Butterfield gets up, plays the ball. Johnny Walker at acting half-back. Ayres brings on Hall. Hall going through the remnants of the Rochdale defence there as Ramshaw gets the ball to Ayres. Ayres, a long ball out to Martin Wood, back to the post, the ball going backwards as he spilled it. Nick Pinkney on the far side. I'm not sure whether it's the wind or what that's blowing him back, but Wayne Race gets the ball. I think the referee's going to call it back from a forward pass. He does indeed. Half a minute into stoppage time now. And to add to those 8 tries, we've also had 4 Johnny Walker goals. Tremendous result on the day, Darrell. Appalling conditions, wind-wise and temperature-wise. A brilliant performance to continue the vein of last week's 2 victories.
Yeah, John, excellent play today. Yeah, really good football. They've played some good football. They've got it out well. They've contained when they had to do. So, all credit to them. They must have stuck to the game plan.
Rochdale then now just playing out the remaining minutes of this game, or seconds even.
It's 3,190.
Tremendous crowd there, 3,190 attending on a poor day. A good kick and good covering there by John Walker. Not only that, gets up and runs away from the tackle as well. Good covering by Walker. A good kick by Rochdale. Stevenson now holding on to this ball. I think the hooter was going to be blown. And the hooter in fact was blown. The referee just questioning, looks as though the air bottle had run out. But nonetheless, a tremendous victory there for Keighley. 40 points to 12. A tremendous game, played in very, very, very cold and windy conditions. Puts in good heart for next week's 4th round of the Silk Cut at Batley. We'll be there, hope you can join us.